Four minor pieces sacrificed in a single game by Miguel Najdorf. That happened in 1930, after some sources 1935, against a player with white pieces named Glucksberg or Glucksberg. We can debate on that. What is the matter of the fact that Miguel Najdorf had the black pieces here? They played it in Warsaw, in Poland, and it is dubbed as the Immortal Polish. Spectacular game, spectacular tactics, and let's get to the next moment here. White Glucksberg played knight to g5, a bit too premature. And now a very interesting and tactical hit, bearing a psychological effect on his opponents, because now Miguel Najdorf, the famous Polish-Argentinian chess player of the 20th century, the first part, now he responded with, boom, bishop takes h2. We're already starting stuff. And do you know what's the best move White was supposed to be playing? Simply, king should have captured h2. You would say, whoa, why would you do that? Because knight to g4. Even if knight g4, now the king goes g1 or h1. Let's consider g1, fine. By the way, that's not what happened, but that's what Glucksberg should have played. And yes, queen takes to g5, of course, with the intent to get the queen over to the h-file and go to h2, right? That would be the main idea, and probably that's why, psychologically, Glucksberg didn't take that bishop, but he should have. Now, of course, knight to f4 simply cuts off the queen from going to h5. Only h5 allows them just h4, but that knight f4 actually plays the pivotal defensive purpose to stopping the queen h2 insertion and checkmate. Because even if you proceed with queen to h4, right, you still want to go to h2 checkmate. Now knight goes h3 blocking. Where's the checkmate? There ain't no checkmate at this stage. There's no checkmate. Yeah, we could say indeed there is the e5, a strong move right in the center. You're going to be agglomerating your black pieces. You're going more into the attack, but it's not the end of the game. The position continues. It's not over. Yeah, you may debate takes and queen takes. Yeah, black is a little bit better, slightly better. The game absolutely far from over. So that would have been a completely better course of action, which didn't happen. Well, by the way, if Glucksberg had played this, we wouldn't have today the Polish Immortal. So, okay. So he didn't take Glucksberg, but instead he went h1. Kind of like human approach, right? I mean, you want to stay out of trouble if possible. Anyway, knight plays over to g4 with the intention, of course, queen to capture and then queen over to the h-file and threatening discovered and stuff. Scary stuff, right? Scary. So, f4 now, because you want to defend this guy. You can't lose that knight, right? So f4 makes sense. Now, one of those moves, slightly uneventful, but still incredibly scary, because now you may wonder what is the best way to get the black queen over to the h-file, and Miguel Najdorf found it, of course. Queen to e8 now. You cannot stop, white cannot stop queen arriving h5 and delivering the discovered check once the bishop had played. So you can't stop it. Yeah, you could play g3. You may try, but you won't make it at this stage. It's a bit too late now. So white had the chance to take the bishop on h2. He didn't, and now he landed himself into this issue. Oh boy, that's a discovered check coming, and you can't stop it. King to g2, trying to, go away from the trouble. And now we start the series of 4 minor pieces sacrifice. 4 minor pieces, guys. Bishop to g1. Now you say, well, let him take the guy. Let him take quickly with the rook. Well, there's a problem. You take with the rook, you're dead in about 2 moves. You take with the knight, you survive a little bit longer. Let's look at this one. If you say rook takes g1, well, we got a checkmate in 2, folks. So check. Where do you go? Where do you go? Because it is irrelevant. Queen f2. I think that's just simply game over. Let's go back. So for this particular reason, knight has to take. Still, that doesn't stop queen from going h2. Check. You're going to go f3. True. But now we're going to start with another sacrifice. Crazy. We're going to go with the e5, getting closer to enabling the bishop's diagonal, and also, very importantly, threatening a fork here, so you cannot not take. You can't say, oh, I don't care, I don't take. Yeah, you got to take, because if you allow this thing, it's just practically game over here, you know. So you got to take. So they took. Now, let me tell you something interesting. So they took here, of course, knight takes. So that's the second sacrifice. Yeah, we're getting closer, guys. Fasten your seatbelt. So now check. And you have to take. It's not a matter of maybe. If you don't take, it's just game over. So you must take. And now pawn goes, not the pawn, knight goes on e5, checking. And a little bit of pressure on this guy. But that's not it. Because after king moves, being forced by the way, we're going to play now knight to g6, checking the king. The king goes f3 back. And now we're opening the bishop. The bishop is open, ready to launch on its diagonal. Big deal, what pawn are you taking with? Because if you take, saying, gf3, if you take with the gf3, there is actually knight e5, just checkmate. Oops, knight e5, checkmate. So it's important you're taking with the other pawn. But then again, it is unstoppable. Bishop to g4, checks the king now. And you either lose the queen, or if you take, you're going to be checkmate. So in the game, they took. And look at this one, knight e5, giving away the black knight again. Sacrifice, takes. And after this one here, you don't bother with anything apart from just simply checkmating the white king with h5, check and mate. This is it. So guys, that's the Polish Immortal. My lord. And 4 minor pieces being sacrificed here for the sake of achieving the checkmate. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bookmark this game. Drop me a couple of comments if you feel like to. And seeing you on the next video or live stream. Thank you.